It's about 10:30 on Friday, March 22nd, 2024. It's lightly raining. It's been raining since last night, and I wanted to wait till the rain stopped before coming out, but it says it's just going to keep raining and raining and raining. There's a breeze blowing, a gentle breeze blowing from the north. It's about 55 degrees. Cold enough that I should wear something, but not so cold that I should be wearing a thick jacket like I am right now. So anyway, yeah, so last night I didn't take a video of the cows. There was just a tiny window that I wanted to get all the work done when the rain stopped. And just as I finished the workup, the rain started up again. So I figured, hey, there's nothing really to report out here. Nothing's really changed. So let me just kind of cover what's going on. It's again, you can kind of tell that they grazed here a little bit on the left. You can see a little bit greener grass, and on the right, it's a little bit more brown and yellow. The goat weed makes it hard to see, but yeah. And when I look at the grass itself, let me just zoom in a little bit. You can see that there's a lot of grass that they didn't even touch. So they're going for the good stuff and they're leaving behind everything else. I'm not saying that they're really going too hard after anything. Like, I'm not seeing the ryegrass or anything overgrazed. So it looks like they are just taking one bite. Here the grass is a little thicker, I think, than the last area. As I said last year, I think the goat weed actually helped the grass to grow. There was a couple times when all you can see was goat weed, but when you look under the goat weed, you saw plenty of grass. So I think the goat weed helped with the drought, helped with the heat at the end of summer last year. So I'm not complaining too much about the goat weed. I have seen cows eat goat weed. I know that people say cows won't eat goat weed, but they do. It's just there's too much goat weed for them to eat, you know. This is Rammy. He was born about a month ago today. 4 weeks ago. He's 4 weeks old. So it's time to start weaning him. He broke his leg the day after he was born. I brought him home. I debated whether to leave him out in the pasture just to survive if he could, or whether to kill him, get the suffering over with, or try to heal his leg. I looked up on the internet and I saw that people do heal ram's legs. It's pretty common injury and it's pretty easy to heal. And so about 2.5 weeks later, he came out of the splint. And then about 3 weeks after, about a week ago, he started walking almost normally. Today, you can kind of tell that there might have been something wrong at one time. Like the way he walks, he doesn't favor his left rear leg, which is where the break was. At least I think that was. No, I'm not so sure which side it was. I think it was the left rear leg, this one here, where the break was. It was between the knee and the hip. No, it was between the knee and the ankle. So that second joint. Yeah, he's doing fine now. I just got to leave him out in the pasture so he becomes a sheep. He's got to eat grass. And he is a ram. I'm going to keep him for breeding purposes. He does have 2 older purebred St. Croix ram in the flock. So I'll probably just leave them be. 3 rams is probably too many, 1 too many, but you know, this he's a part of our house now. My wife basically adopted him. So I'm not going to cull him or sell him. So I'll keep him. And the other rams are older, so I know that they'll breed this coming year. So let's see what other news. Let's take a look at the calves really quick. I think the calves are all doing really well. They're all starting to eat grass more and more. The oldest ones are almost ready to wean if I wanted to wean, which I don't. I'm going to wean late. I'm going to take the bull calves and starting probably in July. Definitely by August I'll have them all banded. And then I got to take them out of the herd just in case the banding isn't 100%, you know. Should be. I'm going to take them to the vet. The vet's very experienced at that kind of thing. So banding them. Ooh, this is the calf that got pooped on. So he's still got a lot of poop there, but some of it washed off. So yeah, I'm probably going to sell most of the calves. I'm going to keep a couple heifers. There's 26. I was looking for him last time. He's a sly little guy. Milk thief. But somebody was saying, hey, you really got to study epigenetics. And I agree. That's probably the next topic of study as soon as I get this grass growing thing figured out, which I think I'm pretty close to figuring it out. But the idea is that the cows that grow up on pasture, that they're born here and they grow up here, are going to be better than the cows that I bought. The cows that I bought are pretty good. There's a couple of them that don't quite put on weight like I'd like. Those will probably be the first to go. But I am planning on maybe one or two of the best heifers. I'm going to keep them back. And just every year, I'm going to replace one or two of the cows. I think, let's see, if I have 30 AUs to spend on cows 5 years from now when I'm growing tons of grass, then I'm going to have some of those AUs go towards steer and some of those AU go towards cow. And I think the balance is 2 to 3 or 3 to 2 or something like that. Or let's just split it halfway down the middle. So we'll have 15 cows and 15 steer, right? And one bull. I'll just keep one bull. Maybe I'll buy and sell the bull every year so I don't have to keep it around. But right now I have, I think, 22 cows that can breed, which is about 7 more than I need. So I do have to start cutting back and culling the herd. I already know 3 cows that I need to get rid of. Number 24, number 21, and Dusty. And so what I'm going to do is this year, I think that's 21 or 19 I'm looking at right now. It's hard to tell because they're both so fat. So I think this year, as soon as the calves are weaned, I'm going to take the mamas to market. I'm just going to go through and probably take the worst performing 10 of the 22. So I have 12 behind. And then I keep 2 heifer calves. I sell the rest. Or maybe I'll keep the steer. I'm not sure about that yet. I might keep the steer, especially if one of you guys watching this wants to buy a steer from me in 3 years. Well, 2.5 years now. Yeah, so I'm basically going to get rid of half of my cows. Keep 2 heifers. This is 21, by the way, this big guy. So her calf died this year, mysterious causes. And 2 years ago, her calf died, a beautiful bull calf that she gave me, but he died a couple days later, and I blame the fire. So that we had back in July of 2022. Anyway, so if you guys want one of the steer, let me know. I'm going to keep at least 2 steer for myself. The rest have got to go. The bulls are going. So at the end of this year, I'm probably just going to have 10 or 12 cows that are ready to breed, and then 2 heifer calves, and then a bull that I bought, a South Pole bull. And then once I get that bull, then I start my breeding program in earnest. And maybe what I'll do is keep 4 or 5 or 6 heifers each year, like half the heifers that are looking good. Keep those heifers and then get rid of half the cows, right? And then just keep doing that. I think a good number that I think Greg Judy uses is 10%. He always gets rid of 10% of the worst, and then he gets replacement. So he keeps like 10% of the best heifers, or 20%, I guess, because half of them are heifers and half are bulls. So he keeps 20% of the best heifers and he gets rid of the 10% of the rest. The thing that I understand he does also is he sells herds, and he doesn't want to sell like the worst 10% as a herd. So he does keep more cows than he can keep, and then he sells a herd of bred heifers, and he'll like keep extra bulls and then sell the bulls as bulls. But the ones that he doesn't like, he takes them to market and just sells them at market prices. So that's kind of what I got to do. So hopefully, 4, 5, 6 years from now, my herd will be looking a lot different than it is right now. There's also the possibility that I just pick up one of the Greg Judy, bred heifers, maybe 5 or 6 of them, and then pretty much get rid of most of my cows and just keep a couple. and then go from there. You know, build the herd from there. It does take 2 years for a heifer calf to become old enough that she can successfully deliver calves most of the time. Not every time, but most of the time. And so it's not like sheep where you can just replace them the next year, more or less. But here I gotta count on the fact that I'm taking long bets over the course of 4, 5, 6 years. It takes 3 years for a calf to mature to harvest. So if I took a steer and kept it, then 1 year after his birth I keep it, then 2 years and 3 years. So 2 more years after the calf is weaned, then that's when I harvest the steer, you know. And I've got to change my program here because my animals are small, they're thin. I've got to really change the number of cows to keep them down until the grass grows a lot better than it does. So that's kind of my thoughts right now, is I'm going to start replacing the herd this year, and then next year, and the next year, and then hopefully 4 or 5 years from now it looks a lot different. Anyway, guys, thanks for your time. Have a great day, and hope everything goes well. Take care. Bye.